Hey everyone, just another install we've done here. This is actually our rig. We were doing the weld-on steering correction on this. So the bump steer, the weld-on kit. So we're going pretty extreme. We have to do it with this car. But what we noticed is this car was in an accident, but it was only a very light accident. That doesn't explain for what we just found with the steering rack. So we're finding there's more and more steering rack issues on these Forge 83 platforms. Vibration, knocking noise, all that sort of stuff. We did another job just this morning. We had to call it off. The steering, when it's on full droop, you get a wheel and you can shake it side to side. Normally check for like ball joints, rack ends, bearings, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, as we shook it, we could actually see the rack was moving up and down. The ball joint was a little bit loose, but it was definitely the rack. So the rack inside the rack and pinion was moving up and down the shaft. A lot of people don't know, but they do have an adjustment in them. Shouldn't be something you have to do with the car this morning. It was 25,000 Ks on the car, and it was shocking. It was actually worse than this car that was in an accident at 65,000 Ks. So we did let the customer know and we called the job off, for that reason. But I wanted to further look at this one because I thought, let's pull this apart, have a look, see if we can show you guys a basic scenario of how to adjust it, how the inside of this is, so you don't have to pull your own apart and risk losing warranty. We've got no warranty on this thing, so let's go for it. So basically what you see, if you can bring the side over here, this is the rack and pinion. Your pinion here, here's your rack. This is a shaft that goes out to your rack ends. And what we notice is the shaft play on that. Sorry, phone call coming in. It's actually not, you can't really notice it at the moment, but on the car we could notice it really bad. We'd already pulled this apart just to have a quick squeeze it anyway. There was no rust on this one, but there was definitely rust on the one this morning, but this one was definitely worn. So you do have a locking nut. So this is just for information. We don't advise people go do this themselves because they want to go under warranty first. This is well sealed up, but as I said before, it has been undone before. I just want to give you an idea of what's inside this. Not everyone's seen one of these, so there's two of these adjustments. They're like a slide adjustment. I don't know the technical term for it. Someone can make a comment and let us know what the technical term is for it. Let's just call it a slide adjustment. But what we've got inside here, so that's the adjustment. You've got locking nut. Inside is a little tension spring, which that could be partially the issue of having a little bit of play in it. This is a cylinder, which we can actually, that puts some pressure against it. So now, you probably see that now, it's got flex in it. But if we press that back down, as if we were to have the nut in, we don't have as much anymore, and the more pressure on that, it makes this solid again. So let's pull this out. Again, I'm not too worried because this is my own car and it's outside of warranty because it's a written off vehicle, so don't go doing this on your car. So that there is the sliding part. Yeah, it's a bit of goop from before, but that's like a bearing bush that slides against the shaft in here. And as that's tightened up against it, that's stopping the rack from moving. If there's play in this, which we know there is, there's a tensioner spring. That spring might be not enough preload, or maybe it's just not adjusted correctly from factory, I don't know. But that is what stops the rack from sort of slopping the rack. There is one either side. So this is the one that's on the passenger side of the vehicle, for the Australian cars that is. And on the driver's side, we've got the same thing up and over here, which is right where your steering, your column comes down to your rack. You've got the same thing here, which is then giving the adjustment on this side. That'll also help out, I dare say, with your backlash and everything, with your pinion that comes into here, as well as your electronic drive. So that's where, it's one of those specialty things. I wouldn't recommend someone to just go and do this to your own rack unless you don't care about your warranty. This is just information things to help people out, to give you, hey, we've got a problem. This is what I feel is actual fix for it. It can be adjusted. It's not a worn out rack. We can't explain the rust in there. The rust in there does seem to be a factory thing, so manufacturing process, because every single one that we've seen, the boots are all beautifully sealed up. The rust is actually underneath the grease and it's already pitted. You can see a little bit of pitting on this one, very minor, but nothing compared to what we've seen, where it's actually, you can see deep pits into the shaft itself, where it should be smooth, because that goes in and out, and that's the sliding contact. So you don't want that to be pitted at all. But hopefully it's helped people out with the knocks, the vibrations, all this extra feel that you're seeing, feeling in these cars. We have felt some of it for ourselves, and I think this is going to answer a lot of questions. So hopefully it helps some people out. All the best. Let us know how you go with it. Cheers.